you had Ja Rule and Ashanti. It was kind of weird, especially because musically they fill the same niche. I think. You know, they sound so similar. You know, that rough kind of vocalization. It's like I smoked too many cigars and now I have this really deep raspy voice and it sounds awesome and stuff. Oh man, that reminds me like Aries Spears. He's this comedian, and his impressions of like DMX are like so spot on. Like he even raps like him. That's crazy. And you also have, well, he does a lot of different impressions, but that's probably his one of his most well known. Right, so that's it for Lead Belcher. Go ahead and rinse this brush. Switch to a new color. Oh yeah, I forgot about my lunch. So yeah, that's my lunch. Yeah, that's my lunch. It's really good. It's really good. Oh yeah, another pro tip. Don't do what I just did. Leave your brush in the water. No, that's another way you can ruin brushes. Dip them too far down and leave them soaking in water. Realistically, you'd also like wash your brushes after each use. Oh, so I did need that. So now I'm going to shade over all the silver using Druki Violet. There we go. And this is like a purple color. Not like is a purple color. This is a purple color. So using the same brush. Going to pull a little bit to my palette. So I can have better control over it. And with this stuff, you don't need to water it down at all. It tends to flow fairly loosely. So and you want to make sure the initial coat is dry and so it's not dry yet. I think we can get away with it. So yeah. Give this a good coating all over. Let it run into all the little crevices and recessed areas. Don't let it pool if you can help it. Except for where you mean to. So one of the things that I like to do with this particular scheme that I find aesthetically pleasant to look at is I will actually take advantage of brush strokes and leave it pooled in some areas. As long as it flows in the same direction. I think since the paint is dry, it's alright to like just directly pull from pot itself. If you accidentally get a little bit too much when you're brushing, use the side of the pot to scrape some back in. Perfectly reasonable, I think. So I usually only do like a single coat of the washes. Unless I want something really darkened down. Huh. For some reason my curse voice chat randomly updated and brought itself to the forefront of my programs that are running. So I thought about collecting another army just to paint, and the Necrons kind of came across my purview. And the Necrons are cool because they're basically kind of ancient Egyptian themed. So like everything's like mummies and skeletons and stuff like that. Really cool and like pyramids and all sorts of stuff like that. But basically they're this race of people that wanted to live forever. They had like this vast empire and something happened and they went dormant. And another thing happened and they woke up. And in order to have like bodies that last forever, they essentially rebuilt bodies for themselves. So they're like living creatures within mechanical bodies. They're humanoid shaped. I mean, that's not the full story by any stretch. There's a lot more to it than that. It's like the bodies that they were given originally that they were born to would break down unnaturally fast, like they were cursed or something. So they had to find a way to expand their life cycles, and they did. But anyway, the whole raison d'etre for the Necrons is to reclaim all their lost lands upon waking. They've been asleep for like thousands of years, and wake up and all these new races are like squabbling over their property essentially. It's like, hey, get off my lawn. And they're all like, where did you come from? And they're like, we were here before you were even winked into existence as a single atom. So they fight to reclaim their own lands, essentially their own territories within space. Another faction that I've looked into were the Tau, and they use a lot of mechs and such. A lot of giant robots. They're basically like this one galactic empire. They would be considered the quote unquote good guys if there was such a thing. So basically, it's like all for the greater good, and like that's their motto is for the greater good. Their battle cry, for the greater good. So they do everything so that everyone has everyone has peace with each other, and they're allowed to prosper and thrive and such. I kind of like this beat. It's kind of old school. Just like me. I don't know, like when I was younger, listen to me sounding so old. I'm not even that old at all. But it's like when you're younger and you think about people that are older than you, you don't really think that much about it. It's like you don't think of think about how things don't seem that relevant to them anymore because I said that wrong. Basically, you don't consider how it would be to be them, because you've not lived as long as them. You can't really appreciate how long something has been since that thing occurred, whatever that thing was. But when you get older and you have, there's this wider and wider gulf between events in your life, you come to have an appreciation for it. Like for me, I remember, like yesterday, coming home from the YMCA, which was like our daycare, and watching Thundercats on Tsunami, which is this cartoon block on Cartoon Network. I think it still exists actually. The host back then wasn't Tom. No, this was Moltar, who was one of the original hosts of Cartoon Network in general. Because Cartoon Network started off as a cartoon block on TNN. Which is owned by Ted Turner. So that's why you'll see, if you watch Robot Chicken, a lot of references to like Ted Turner. Same for like Family Guy. They're all on networks that he owns. So, but yeah, that was like yesterday to me. And now, 20 years later, I have my own kid. And, the things that I was into when I was his age are completely different from what he likes today. Well, kids his age are into. Not so much like